I'm not comfortable with letting you in because we're here on the first floor by ourselves and we're a locked facility.
So you're saying it's unlawful for me to make a records request in person?
If she felt uncomfortable giving that information to the person who was asking for it, then she doesn't have to do that. So
does that include first names?
She's free to give out whatever information she feels comfortable giving out.
Because she told you she told you it was a secured building.
Hey, that's the Attorney General right now, 18 days I think it is before election, and that's how he behaves. Your next governor, the one that wants to be governor next, that's how he behaves with transparency and accountability. You know, making contact with me, that's not, I don't want that, okay? I don't want to make contact with you.
I was making contact with the door.
And you put your hand on my hand. Hey everyone, I am free. It's November 1st, 2024. I am in the city of Lacey, here in Thurston County in the Communist Empire of Washington State, continuing on with my explanations about my communist empire and state of Washington. And as you guys know, I've been saying recently, it's a sardonicism. It's me basically discussing the idea that Washington State loves to violate people's liberties and create problems for them to just go about their lawful business. And that is why I'm using a sardonic form of humor, dark, cynical, mocking humor to make my point, rather than being angsty and emo and yelling and screaming or whatever. So that's the reason why I call it the Communist Empire of Washington State. It's just a little humor. Everyone calm down. That being said, I'm heading back to the Washington State Utilities and Transportation Commission to inspect their records index, of which they only had a part of the other day, a few weeks ago. And that records index that they discussed there, which is mandatory for state agencies per RCW 4256-70 subsection 5, and in their own WAC, which is the Washington Administrative Code that they must abide by, that is discussed in WAC 480-04-065, and the Washington Utilities Commission by Administrative Code as well, which think of administrative codes as the implementation of statute, have in WAC 480-07-120 a requirement that their offices be open to the public Monday through Friday, normal business hours, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. The offices will be open. So when they said last time here...
Okay, sure, if you could just wait outside, we're a locked facility. We're by appointment only.
That they were locked, that is unlawful. So we're going to go back, make sure they're in compliance with administrative code and thus law, and we're going to inspect the records index to see if they have years 2020 through 2024 available now. Hello.
Did you hit the button?
I did hit the button.
Oh, my apologies. Apparently it wasn't ringing on the on the
that's
main
it. Thanks.
Come on in.
Appreciate it.
I want to point out how much better this has already been compared to last time when Shannon and Brian attempted to refuse me entry into the People's Building there at the Washington Utilities and Transportation Commission, as seen here.
Okay, sure, if you could just wait outside, we're a locked facility. We're by appointment only.
Because she told you it was a secured building.
Hey.
Let's step outside while we're...
No. I'm just coming in to make a records request. I need to inspect the records. You know, making contact with me, that's not... I don't want that, okay? I don't want to make contact with you.
I was making contact with the door.
And you put your hand on my hand. How's your day treating you? Okay?
It's Friday.
Hey, fair enough, man. Fair enough. I get it.
I'm Brian Smith. I'm a records officer.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Nice to
I'm
meet
Steve.
you. Hi. How can I help you out?
Well, I just wanted to see if the rest of the records index has been...
Yeah, so we have it on our website.
Something I want to point out here, as you can see from the records index, whether or not it is used frequently by people, it is definitely an important document. It lays out all the major rulings, policy statements, judgments, etc. regarding whichever governmental body. This is a quick way to access highly important reports, etc., while at the same time not burdening the already overloaded public record system here in Washington State. This is exactly why it's crucial that these indices exist, especially for the state agencies, since they're the largest organizations in the state, and additionally, they're required to have those indices.
We have kind of an updated form, but I do have some copies printed out here.
Okay.
But let me reprint the one that just got posted on our website, because it has like policy statement dockets, declaratory orders.
Yeah, if I could get that. I don't need, and forgive me, I can't recall the lady's name, but the lady that gave me some documents last time I was here, she gave me from, well, whatever the start point was, through 2019.
Yeah, the one I'll print out, it's kind of a, so we had a 2005 to 2012 document, and then the one that she gave you that wasn't all the way through 2024 was 2013 through 2019.
This is what we have.
Wow.
It is not all the way to 2024 because it's still being worked on.
So the one that I'll go reprint is from 2013 to 2024.
If I could, oh, so you're saying there's things that were missing from 2013 to 20?
Well, I'm not entirely sure on that. I'm not the one that's involved with actually the creation of that document.
Do you know who is?
I don't know if there's any specific person at this point, but it's up in our ALD, our Administrative Law Division.
Sure.
Paralegals and some of the judges work together to kind of compile all that information.
Gotcha. Yeah, if it's possible for me to figure out, I would really like to know who's compiling that, because if you've obviously got something you're going to print out today for me.
Yeah.
So it's like, it sounds like it's not complete then.
Well, I mean, it should be complete as of now. But so in that basically everything after 2019, they had to go through and make sure they had everything collectively compiled, I guess.
Gotcha. And when did you guys add it to the website officially?
We got it uploaded onto the website 3 days ago, 2 days ago. So
Gotcha.
kind of a blur. I can't remember if it was Tuesday or Wednesday, but one of those 2 days.
Okay. One last question for you too. You may not be the right person, so if you're not, please let me know who I should speak to.
Yeah.
But thanks for letting me in. But
Yeah.
I was curious. Last time I was here, and it was. Oh, she took her name down. The lady was sitting there. I've got her name. What's her name again?
Shannon.
Shannon, that's right. When I spoke with her initially, when I think it was Brian,
Yeah,
our IT manager. That's right. Okay, so when I spoke with them, she made it clear to me that this is a locked facility. I wanted to know why that is, because when I looked at WAC 487-120, it says the offices are supposed to be open to the public.
Yeah.
Business hours, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Yeah, I think some of the interaction. So some of it was, people kind of get caught in that fight, flight, freeze, fawn kind of state of mind. I think some of that kind of.
Well, it's understandable. I had a rocket launcher, so
But so the doors stay locked. We have a lot of homeless or houseless people, and
Before we continue to listen and watch my engagement with Ryan of the Washington Utilities and Transportation Commission, consider this. The Washington State Utilities and Transportation Commission seemingly takes an anti-homeless policy. We just heard an employee begin to explain, which we'll hear the full breadth and depth of it here shortly, that the Washington Utilities and Transportation Commission building is locked due to homeless people. So let's take a look at the leader of this organization to better understand what might contribute to this. Based on Jeff Killip's LinkedIn profile, link in the description, He is an accomplished lawyer, medical health professional in terms of administrative management, and experienced in a long list of governmental agency management such as Labor and Industries here in Washington State, among others. Included in his pitch to potential employers, Jeff included this on his LinkedIn profile in the About section from the link above. High energy, creative, progressive, and strategic executive leader with significant legal, public occupational health, policy, organizational health experience. Inclusive, human-centered, and collaborative approach to problem solving. Passionate about teamwork, coaching, mentoring with a growth mindset for data-driven, continuous improvement at all levels for greatest impact on behalf of those we serve. I want to focus on this. Inclusive, human-centered, and collaborative approach to problem solving. Based on what I'm hearing from Ryan, Jeff, as the Executive Director of the Washington State Utilities and Transportation Commission, takes an interesting approach to the inclusion and human-centered approaches regarding homeless citizens of Washington State. In fact, what I am hearing here in a candid moment, and I thank Ryan for being honest, thank you Ryan, from Ryan is that the Executive Director, in light of being the most in charge of daily management of the organization, took a position of keeping homeless citizens out of a public building, which is owned and supposed to be enjoyed by all Washington State citizens. Apparently, by practice, the filthy, unwashed masses of citizens, my sardonic point, such as the homeless, must be kept outside and away from the paragons of managed society. You know, people like Jeff Killa. Seems like a really inclusive, human-centered, and collaborative approach to solving the homeless issues around the public building, Jeff. You just lock all of those citizens out. Seems very progressive indeed. Well done, Jeff. Your ivory tower is very shiny and visible for everyone to see from miles away.
Lots of issues.
You can call them whatever you want, man. I'm not going to get angry about it.
We do have a lot of issues seemingly kind of in the area with the restroom over there, drug use, overdose, things like that. And so kind of around the end of COVID when the buildings are starting to reopen to the public, the intention was made to keep the door locked, but to let people in as they arrive.
That's definitely not how that was going initially.
Okay, sure. If you could just wait outside, we're a locked facility. We're by appointment only.
Because she told you it was a secured building.
Hey,
let's step outside while
No. I'm just coming in to make a records request. I need to inspect the records. You know, making contact with me, that's not, I don't want that, okay? I don't want to make contact with you.
I was making contact with the door.
And you put your hand on my hand.
Yeah. We've had some discussions. The by appointment only thing, that was kind of during that beginning phase.
Okay, sure. If you could just wait outside, we're a locked facility. We're by appointment only.
Of kind of reopening to the public.
Sure.
But I've reconfirmed with our AGs, like, we're not really in a state to do by appointment only. There are some agencies that still do that, but those are agencies where it's like, they're like reception areas, usually like managed by like a building owner.
Sure.
And then they're contracted with the agency to provide that reception.
That was interesting. By the way, appreciate your time and the information. Who is the AG for Utilities Commission?
Our lead attorney general that we work with, our assistant attorney general, is Jeff Roberson.
Roberson. Okay, I'm familiar with the name. Never met him, but in that vein, you had just said, and I just want to make sure I'm not putting words in your mouth. He said to you, if I'm recalling what you just said a moment ago, that offices are not supposed to be closed to the public.
So we're supposed to be able. The public is supposed to be able to access our building. I think it's between 30 or 40 hours a week to be able to inspect public records.
Sure.
And so, in that vein, they have to be accessible, and that's why we have to have somebody here within our reception team to be able to come in and let people in.
Gotcha. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
So it's generally understood at this point, if someone comes up, you guys are going to maintain locked doors because of homeless folk, but beyond that, if it looks like someone's... Now, I do have a question in that vein. So let's say a homeless guy walks up, or looks homeless, whatever, a disheveled individual, whatever you want to call it, and says he wants to come in and inspect records.
He's a member of the public.
So you guys are going to let him in at that point. Okay, great. So you guys aren't effectively determining what people look like.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, Yeah.
Okay, because that would obviously
that's an
not.
area we don't want to go.
Yeah, that would not be good. Okay, fair enough. Well, I think that answers a lot of questions for me. If whatever wasn't printed, because I don't want to waste paper.
Yeah,
last time, if I could get that, that'd be great.
Yeah, it would take me a while to go through and compare. It would be much easier just to go ahead and just print that one document for you.
Sure.
I think it's only, I want to say it's only like 13, 14 pages. I think they kind of.
That's way less than what I got the other time.
Well,
This is what we have.
Wow.
It is not all the way to 2024 because it's still being worked on.
I think a lot of what they did is they kind of formatted it so it fits a little bit better.
Gotcha.
So
Oh yeah, 13, 14 pages would be great. I mean, that sounds more like actually in line with like what the Washington State Patrol has for a records index. It's pretty brief. I think theirs is like 7 or 8 pages or something.
Yeah. Yeah, if you can give me just a moment, I'll go get that for you.
That sounds good, man.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Do you by chance, just because it's wet outside today, do you have any like maybe,
Something to slip.
Yeah, just something to slip it in an envelope, envelope or something?
Yeah, let me go see what I got.
Great. Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah, of course. If I have to get an envelope, I may have to run to the neighbor.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant. Thanks. Appreciate it. Okay. All right. Well, I really like Ryan's attitude so far. I mean, he seems like a nice guy. I am going to put in a public records request for his calendar, so I can try to determine if he really was at a medical appointment that day. My trust of the executive director is very limited. In fact, it's 0. I felt like he was just trying to create a false narrative, to drag things out, to get something printed. And I also think, in light of my professional, polite demeanor, was trying to red herring me as being some, ultra terrorist or whatever it was, because he allegedly at some point down in California was accosted by somebody in a mask. So therefore, all people that are wearing masks, like during apparently are a bunch of terrorists. So anyways.
Good envelope, but paper, so
hey, that works.
Take this too. You're more than welcome.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, man. That'll work just fine.
Yeah.
Got a couple more questions for you, and I also need to submit a public records request too.
Okay. If you can give me a second, let me just go grab it.
You bet, man. No sweat. Thanks. So I hate to do this, man, but in light of my really not good experience with the executive director last time, seems like you should be the front man here. You are really chill and just normal and well adjusted, so thank you.
Yeah, I'm here quite a bit. That day you came in, I was up in Seattle at Children's with my partner and her kid, and so.
Hey, no sweat. I mean, I'm not judging, and like I told the executive director, hey, I mean, people live lives and have things they got to do, and that's normal stuff. I'd like to get your calendar, only because I just don't trust the executive director. I kind of think he was trying to take me for a false narrative trip.
Yeah. Do you mind if I sit down?
Not at all. No, man.
Okay.
It's all of our building.
I just want to just sit down on you.
Yeah, no sweat. I'll just sit on down here too.
All right. So you want a copy of my calendar?
Yeah, and really, if it will help with the processing of it, I just want to confirm if there's anything on your calendar that demonstrated you were going to be up in Seattle. I don't really care what your medical business was. I just want to use that to confirm if the executive director was not being truthful with me. Hate to have to dig into this, but I just kind of felt weird about his interaction with me, especially telling me, because I'm wearing a mask, even though people did that for 3.5 years, now all of a sudden I'm coming across as some sort of a mecha ninja terrorist or whatever it was that he had in his mind.
All right. And did you have a date range for the calendar request?
Just the date that I was here.
Okay. So
that's basically just
the 18th.
I can't remember off the top of my head, but
I will confirm. But
yeah, I appreciate it. And I mean, if you guys can just find a snapshot of that and just want to send it to me quickly, that's cool.
Yeah,
works for me. And then also, in the vein, that's my entire public records request.
Okay.
If you want to email it to me, you guys have my email address now.
Is it the anonymous private person?
No, anonymous citizen WA at protonmail.com. Yeah, that is truly a different person, anonymous private person.
Okay. Yeah, we'd gotten a few emails after your video went out, and
Gotcha.
that was one of them.
Well, and I know a lot of people don't see Proton Mail as much, but I really promote them a lot, even though they're not a sponsor of my channel, though they should be. Proton Mail.
He's
But
an anonymous citizen.
yep, anonymous citizen WA at protonmail.com. I also wanted to confirm when you were talking about, again, I'll just call them homeless people. It doesn't really matter to me, but have you guys actually had any security incidents with homeless folk?
We've had people come up and like try to door check, just kind of come up and try to do that, and then walk away immediately before anyone can actually reach them, or they won't hit the buzzer. But
Gotcha.
it's more just like we've had just witness incidents. Sorry, I can't talk yet.
Sorry.
Incidents over here. I want to say two, maybe 3 months ago, there was like an arrest like right over here from somebody that had a warrant out for their arrest, and like was
Gotcha.
pretty physical takedown. Just things kind of like that, and so it's just
So is the locked door to keep the cops out as well?
no. I mean, they occasionally come to the door if like the door sensor shows that it didn't shut, but no, it's just to make sure our employees are safe. It's kind of just been what's been
Well,
going on
one
for a
thing
bit.
I wanted to see if you could pass along to the executive director. I certainly wouldn't want him to come downstairs for him having the fear that I'm getting ready to take him out, or that I'm like I said, a terrorist or whatever. I can clearly see you are terrified right now, so it justifies his response last time. I would like to make a request to the director and the commissioners to just open the doors back to the people, because here's another thing that I think needs to happen is I think there's things that get broken down in terms of how they're supposed to function if we do things like this, which is, if, for example, the commission does run across problems or has, let's say, hypothetically had problems in the past, then I think what should be done is not to actually keep the public out or create barriers between us and our agencies or commissions, but rather maybe we need to line item some additional funds to have a security officer in here. And that right there would help assist in a variety of things, truly understanding crime issues in the area, truly understanding the needs, rather than it being a barrier. Because honestly, if it weren't me as an experienced journalist at this point, having come up and known that I could be here, 99.9% of people would have left. And that's not okay, as we've come to know. So I just think it'd be something good for the commission and the executive director to consider. Obviously, we can't make them do things except for through elections, but I mean, not for them, but for the governor and stuff like that. But I think that'd be good. I think it'd also go a long ways to just be more transparent. It seems like a problem, especially now we're past COVID, to just have our buildings open to ourselves again. We should be, I mean, all your doors are badge access, can't get in anywhere except for the bathroom, right?
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of that has to do with kind of safeguarding confidential documents from PSE, Avista, and some of the other companies.
Oh yeah, sure. And I mean, as far as I can see, you guys don't have any documents, even like in your reception area, open and just laying out for people to see.
Yeah.
So I mean, in light of the fact that you've got what looks like bulletproof glass up there.
Yeah, that was something that they had contracted to have added when we moved here. The previous building we were at, we had
A lot of running gunfights with the Utilities Commission.
Yeah, no, there was someone that drove through the parking lot, I guess one day, this is before I started here, that had a cannon in the back of their truck.
They had a cannon? An actual cannon?
I guess on some level, I think it was some like miniaturized home built one or something, but they didn't shoot it at the building, but
wow.
Yeah, it was an interesting story. I was just like,
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to meet that company owner.
Huh. Interesting. Okay. But yeah, I mean, that's just my request. I think it'd be, like I said, go a long ways, especially since Jeff over at the AG is basically saying, hey, you got to be open for this anyways. I mean, why not just be open and transparent? I mean, all the doors, like I said, are badge access only except for the bathrooms. And if you guys are worried about people using the bathrooms for drug issues or whatever, you can just put badge access and the receptionist can let that person in or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It'd
just be good, I think, to do that. It'd go a long ways for transparency. There's a lot of that stuff being addressed right now in our state, like the administrative offices of the court. They're just refusing to be open to the public at all. Yeah. And I think a lot of people are interested in this. I know I've had a lot of emails saying, hey, you know, I'm running across this kind of stuff everywhere I go. So, you know, whatever it's worth.
Yeah, I mean, and yes, I will get that passed on.
Then we can run across great public employees like you instead of having to talk to Jeff, who was clearly terrified.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the Public Records Act exists for a reason. And being a state employee, you know, generally you work in a glass bubble and everything is supposed to be viewable.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I get how that kind of inhibits that a little bit.
Sure. Yeah. In fact, when I started out doing public records my journalism, I didn't even focus on the PRA all that much. It was just as a consequence of working on stories that I got for tips and leads. This thing is happening at this place, blah, blah, blah. I'd go look into it. And then all of a sudden, when I realized, oh, okay, if there is something here, I'm going to request some records. Now all of a sudden, it's like you're lighting the building on fire. Everybody's freaking out, causing problems, obfuscating, blocking. And it's like, why is that happening? Because then it makes one question as a journalist. The biggest tool for a journalist as, with the Public Records Act for requesting records is there's roadblocks. Like, why is that? You know, it kind of makes you question.
Yeah.
Not trying to make it a conspiracy, but anyways.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that. All right, I will go get that out.
Okay.
I should be able to get you a response to this today.
Awesome.
Usually we fulfill our request through GovQA.
Sure.
But what you're asking for, I'll probably just shoot you an email with it.
That's fine.
And then if you get some pop-ups from GovQA, just know I'm going to close that up on my end.
Sure. Yeah, no sweat, man.
Just so you can go ahead and get that.
Hey, really appreciate your professionalism. Thank you very much. I hope you have a good day, and you take care.
Yeah, you too.
All right, man.
Stay dry.
Hey, you too, man. All right, that's it here today at the Washington State Utilities and Transportation Commission. What a remarkably different experience today. That was a gigantic difference here. Ryan Smith is a consummate professional. I really felt he was being genuine, but even if he wasn't, to me it doesn't matter because he was professional. So, you know, he could just greatly dislike me, and for me, you know, it is what it is, but he was still professional. He got done what needed to be done. I gained access to the building immediately. I was able to submit a verbal public records request in person, which you can find is lawful in Washington Administrative Code 44-14-03006. And he admitted Jeff Roberson, the assistant AG assigned to the Utilities and Transportation Commission, told them they do need to be open 30 to 40 hours a week for public records activities. And that's good to take to the next set of agencies that are saying, no, you can't come in. That's kind of a big deal right there. I'm glad to get that. I'm going to actually request that. That might be considered legal advice. It's covered as an exemption in accordance with the Washington State Public Records Act, but still going to try to request it. That's good. Got the rest of the records index here. Victory right there. Win. Got the rest of it right there. I'm going to request some other records regarding the records index. There are discussions regarding the records index and whatnot, but that is a victory right here, people. We got the records index. They've admitted they were supposed to have it, and that is a great win for us as citizens in Washington State and further afield. So, if you like this content, if you like my journalism, please like, share, and subscribe. Hit that all notifications bell so you get my stories right when they're released. You can follow me on X at I.A.M. Auditing, on Facebook at Inland Auditing Media, and if you want to help keep my feet on the streets, you guys know where to go. You can go to the links in the description for Cash App and Venmo. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys at the next location. Bye for now.